I mowed this. I mowed the immediate section off the house. The rest, yeah, until I start walking over there regularly, I'm not really pressed about it. I'm more pressed about stuff invading those beds, but again, yeah. But this, I'm over here all the time, walking past, and it looked very visible to my eye. I feel like I'm supposed to be doing this quite regularly. I have to figure out how often people mow their lawns. If it's like every 2 weeks, every once a week, I don't know. It had been spoken about possibly going to the Home Depot yesterday. We didn't. We went today. Cool. And I had seen, I don't know how long ago, last week, I want to say, someone I follow, some people who do grind stuff on YouTube, talking about Home Depot having a sale, a wild sale, an 8 or a 6-pack, I don't remember which one, for $1.50. And I'm like, oh, that's actually a really good price, especially for the Dianthus. But essentially, if the 4-pack for Dianthus goes on sale at the Lowe's, it'll be about the same price. It'll be about 25 cents. If it's a 6-pack, for $1.50, it'll be at the same price. Regardless, once they had Dianthus, they had begonias, and I know some people put begonias in the sun, so I'm like, I could try that. And so my plan today was to go and get pavers, because pavers are 4 for $1 or 25 cents, and begonias. I wasn't super pressed about the begonias because I couldn't see them fitting into the plants over here. The plants over here are very they're not as succulent as a begonias tend to be. So I'm like, I don't know about that. Anyway, we go there. They don't have them. I'm kind of miffed. Okay, whatever. Let me just go see about my pavers. When we get to the paver section, they have the pavers that are like this high up, from like the hip down at the racks, and they have the higher rack. The racks below are all gone, and pavers I want, they're all gone. The higher rack has some left, but they're stacked in such a terrible way. All the ones in the back are stacked high, and so I tried to get some, and you can see that if you get one, the rest maybe might fall. And some of them have cracks. I'm like, you know what? Let me wait. My mother asked somebody if they could help. She's like, I'm going to go get a ladder. Hold on. She's taking a time to find a ladder. In the meantime, there's some other pavers that are also 25 cents. The red ones. I'm like, oh, let me just get the red ones, whatever. But I don't like the red ones, the straight red ones. I like the ones I ended up getting that look a bit more like weather worn, and they look more like they're not so much pop, out of the landscape. So I get some of the red ones. And then I see somebody else who's like racking up all the red ones. And I'm like, I'm just going to wait for these other ones. I don't want these red ones. So I give him my red ones. Cool. He takes all the red ones. He's still looking for more. And so then he starts to look at the ones I'm looking at. And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, oh yeah, she said she's gonna come and get a ladder. Like, hold on. And so I'm in the front of the pavers. Smart man that he was. He went behind the pavers where there were some bags of mulch, I think, and he just got some from behind. So I think he got some, and I don't know what happened, but I immediately went behind him and got a bunch more. Because I'm like, oh, I had, I think, 6 in the cart, and I was like, I need 22 more. And so at some point I decided, let me try and get to 36 instead of 28. And so I ended up getting 36 pavers. At some point on the line, my mother was like, why don't you just get another $1 full of pavers? So it's $10 worth of pavers. And I start to walk back, and I don't even get far because I can see that they're gone. Because I know that as we had left, I saw someone else grabbing the rest of them too. So the ones I wanted, which are the Holland pavers, they're all gone at that Home Depot. That's like the only Home Depot. That's the closest Home Depot to us, and that's like 40 minutes away. The other one is like an hour plus away. Anyway, I'm putting the pavers on. Here are my pavers stacked by 2s, my 36 pavers. Okay. I did do a little walk with my foot over here to see, and I said, oh, I guess it looks like 6 on either side. And it's actually great because I forgot I had pavers on this already, so there should be surplus. My mother was like, oh, you could do a herringbone, and I'm not opposed to a herringbone. I'm just like, that's not enough. This is not enough pavers for a herringbone for a 30 square foot. Yeah, because it's 6 feet by 5 feet, so it's about 30 square feet. I'm like, this is not enough. I'm like, if I need 30 of these pavers are not enough, and the number I have them. So anyway, my plan today is to line the edges, and then I think with the surplus, I'm gonna carve this out. Um, this is settling as to be expected, and so I'm thinking at this point that yes, I'm probably just gonna come and pour some concrete. I might carve out some more and then pour some concrete, just to keep the grass out and pour the concrete on the slope essentially. I don't know if I don't see any roots exposed, so it looks like they're growing down, which is great. We've got flower buds coming up here. Some of the surplus yarrow is growing in nicely. I know here's one of the daylily buds, I should say, sorry. Great, fantastic. The 4 shot daisies are looking great. That whole corner needs something. I did eventually find the African daisy seeds, and so I might put some of those to start today. This is empty. I was going to put something in, but I kept trying to imagine begonias here. And maybe the red ones with the red flowers I could see, especially in the front. But over here, I'm like, what can I still don't know what I could put here because there's still this gap between the roses one. I don't know what to put there. I want to put something close here, but the whole thing is, I think if anything, this bed might just have stepping stones here and there eventually, not necessarily immediately. Yeah, so I don't know. Oh my God, it's budded up. Look at these buds. Look at all these buds. We already see buds. It's budded up. She's about to be and I saw one over here that looks open. Girl, you're so cute. I know we had some rain the other day, but I don't know how much crazy rain we had. There's a lot of grass that's starting to invade here, so if I have time today, I'll try and do that, but not sure if I'm gonna have time. I'm gonna try and move my Distylium today. That's also the thing. So we're gonna see if I have time. If I have time, I'll try and come in with the hoe and dig a bit more of this out, but I probably just need some mulch also. Oh my God. She's gorgeous. And so the carnations are budding up. I'm sure it's one of these days just gonna walk out here and it's gonna be flowers. The 3 dahlias, at this point I'm counting dead. I'm trying to work in my mind what else I might want to put here. Maybe another hibiscus. That'd be something. Are there like purple hibiscus? I don't think so. I'm not necessarily a super one for the super dark leaves, even though, again, I have the Starry Night hibiscus. Maybe I'll get one of those big green leaf hibiscus. I want more petunias. I also got to double back and see about how petunias do with heat because I need some heat-resistant plants. I'm not trying to be watering the heck out of these plants to keep them alive and flowering. But also, so those red begonias, I'm like, it would have been nice to do like a little wave type thing in between and above the begonias and the petunias and dianthus. And then I think it was yesterday that I saw this, but my hibiscus is coming back. Okay, girl. And we've got we've got 1 here, 2. There's like 2 more over here on the ground. This one. Girl, just do it. Just stay there forever and say beautiful. Yeah. I don't recall what I was watching, but they were like, peonies need, rich soil besides well-draining things. And I'm like, on the one hand, they have well-draining soil. Rich soil, a whole different story. But, so my peonies are growing great. If I decide to plant them in ground, I definitely have to try and plant them with like a lot of organic material immediately around them. And then probably just eventually, the plan is, as this becomes more permanent and less like, annuals, or I'd rather have more permanent features and less, annuals. Permanent, primarily meaning perennial, I suppose, to just keep amending this bed over here, right? So, these sweet peas are growing, but like so slow. But okay, girl, okay. I'll trust you'll do something. Essentially, most of the flowers, most of the blooms of the clematis have like either blown away. I think they've blown away is the thing, which is fine. Let's put on a lot of green growth. Let's get a lot of energy, right? And then for the next flush, right? Yeah. Another angle of the mowing. So yeah, I have to figure out if I'm supposed to be mowing it. So regular. I did put a bunch of the grass I dig up. I did put it in this strip, but also I tried to weed the grass for other stuff. What the heck is this? Did I take this off? No, I didn't. Oh, it's Anthill. Sorry. They're gonna bite me. Oh my God. Okay, weed. That way the grass can just take over alone. And so my idea is a weed, and that way the grass doesn't have to compete so much. And then we can just have more. I think a monoculture is fine on a septic drain field. So before you come for me, it's a septic drain field. Yes. Everything's down. When I tell you I could have used that other dollar of brick, I could have used a lot more. Excuse me, paver, the Holland paver. But I was telling my mother, I'm like, they're gonna have another sale. They always have another sale. From this side, it looks like I could get it closer, but I can't because the dianthus is there. Oh, start over here. Very dumb. Good that I overshot because I went by my foot. And I'm like 1 foot, 2 foot, 6 feet, 6 feet this way. I forgot that these are not a foot. These are like 8 inches, I want to say, 8 or 6 inches. I think they're like 8 inches. Let me see. I think they're like 8 inches. Anyway, I used like 9. I think initially I had like 10, 11 over here. I had to move one over. Well, I didn't have to, but I did move one over to make space for to get another paper. Girl, what's going on over here? Anyway, anywho, I have to figure that out because that's not looking how I want it to look. Like this isn't necessarily looking how I want it to look either, but underneath here is uneven. So until I have some type of base to put here, it's just this is how it's gonna work. Or I get all the pavers, right? And I just let them do this thing. I just let the cardboard decay, and then they'll all settle in. Anyway, let's see how many I have over here. And I had some over here already. I want to say I had like 4 maybe that were already here, maybe more. 1, 2. Well, we can just count after the fact. We can count how many are on that side. But on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, like I said. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So maybe there was 12 at that point because I did move one over. And so I used the other one over here. And I like this. I do. I like the shape of it. It very much is the shape of the bed, how in my mind it's always been intended to be. We do have some gappage. I really don't know what to do about that. there's going to be gaps. Besides digging it out and formalizing it with concrete, blah blah blah. But it came to my mind that apparently maybe my style, or maybe something about Catholic Catholic not cathedral. I don't know what you call them. Like not cathedrals, but like the neighborhood ones, the small ones. Catholic church core. I don't know. This color gives that in the sunlight. It gives this. Um, but I like this color. It's not the bright red brick one. It's like a faded. It's like a, oh my gosh, like a, not rustic, distressed, almost distressed brick, sand battered brick. I like this color, not the super red brick. The red brick would have been too much. It would have been too much. This isn't too far off from the red mulch I like to use, but I don't think I'll be using red mulch. I'll probably just try and stick to like a brown mulch if I'm gonna get like the colored mulch. I like the brown mulch over here especially anyway. So yeah, so okay, so let's count over here because this is how we're gonna figure out how many I use on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mind you, I did move one over here anyway from back over there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21, and I had 36. So I used 15 over there, and I had 9 on one side, and that's 6. So but I had 11 and 9, so that's 20. So 15. So I had 5, it looks like, over here already, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I made this wider, but then it's like I can bring it in a bit more, so I can get a tighter thing. I I pretty much left all the space to keep it even on the back because at first this was like curving in and it didn't look good. And so now it's looking like even that could be maybe like a little bit more. Is what I think it could be a little bit more. Or I don't know if it's just that my eye's playing tricks because the one brick is not so even. I don't know. But I like this. I like this light hardscape. And so I will be looking for things that'll, one, I need this to settle a bit more and start to really block out some of the grass. And if it doesn't, I guess maybe I'll have to dig a little with the hoe to flatten it out and do as much. And I want some things that just gently tumble over and, kind of hide the heart of the paver, the hardscape of the paver. But I like this so much. Oh my gosh. At my mother's suggestion / behest, I removed the Distylium, and she's going to go in the front over there, and so I'm going to put it in now. I kind of mowed the area clear where I'm going to put it, so I just have to figure out if that's for sure I want it, or once I'm over there, and then dig it.
Consider the height that it's going to get.
This is going to get
and also
6 to 8 feet wide, I think, and 8
wide,
to 10.
yeah. So you have to really consider where to put it because we need to keep 5th Avenue open.
Yes, I know. It wasn't even. It's not even going to be touching because it's in front of the little walkway that's in front of the lights. So it wasn't even going to be. Well, yeah, I have to consider it regardless. So I'm not trying to dig this up again, ever again. I could put it next to the camellia. I don't know. Let me go do that now. I just wiped the screen. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to put it at the end of that bed over there or behind next to the camellia. But the area next to the camellia, especially once it's like the oaks, it doesn't get as much light. Okay, in the winter, it's a different thing. But, and then if the idea is I'm going to put more shrubs in that area, then eventually that Distylium probably would have been blocked out. I wouldn't see it, get to enjoy it so much. The camellia is a different story because I think the camellias, I love seeing them in other people's yards. I don't think I'm any longer about them. I will love the ones I have until they are no more. But that thing looks huge. And so there's a road, a path, an informal road behind the trees. My mother calls Fifth Avenue. And she didn't want it too close. But actually, looking at it over here, maybe it could have gone a bit closer over there. Regardless, she didn't want it too close to Fifth Avenue because she's like, consider how tall it gets. I'm like, yeah. It's saying, I think it said, this is the Linebacker Distylium. I think it said it gets 6 to 8 wide, 8 to 10 tall. And so I'm like, it's pretty much quite wide already. It's not going to get much wider than where it is right now, actually. And I'm like, I probably could have moved it over. Whatever. So the lights kind of mark where the road is. So, but the idea is if it were to grow, I'm like, if it were to grow another 8 feet wide, let's say, it at most would grow 4 feet in either direction is the idea. So, I'd say probably, maybe right now it's like 4 feet wide, but also from this angle, now it looks like it's the right spot in terms of like too close to the road, because again, this is, let's say, on the other side of the light is Fifth Avenue. This continues on the little path from back here. So I can either continue the path behind here or behind here, and it's not too much. So actually, I think this is perfect. I have water filling up right now, and if I had sticks, I would water this and put cardboard as a mulch. But I don't think I have sticks to mulch this with cardboard. Again, I don't know if I'm going to keep this here next year. But I'll tell my mother, especially now that this has moved up, those two mully grasses, this really feels like, a room that separates the road in between the pines, And so I don't know if that one's coming back or not. If it doesn't, it'll get replaced eventually. But, shrub, or shrub. I think that one, this tree-ish form, we're going to plant a lot of things close. I want this to be like a border, right? And then where I am is going to be like a little patio area is the idea. So I think it's perfect there. She's gorgeous. I'm going to go water her now. I have the water filled. It's going to be a hassle to pull it up. So I have the water can in it, but it's dark and I can do that. I can run and do that back and forth. I want to try and start these African daisies first. So I'm going to go wash these. There's some soil left over there. We also got more soil because today was the last day that the soil was on sale. So yeah. I don't know about that flat one, but I'll probably put in the large doghouse greenhouse. I don't know that the small one has space, but maybe I can put 1 and 2 or 2 and 1. We'll see. So here we go. Okay, these are giant African daisies. Oh my gosh, is this empty? No, it's not empty. Great. These are big though, so that's great. I was gonna say I'm just gonna put it in the deeper ones, but if the other ones take, fantastic. There's one. Okay. This one's kind of broken, but oh well. Okay. I'm just gonna put the rest in here and anything that, because it is 2 years old. Oh, these seeds are big. Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll put 2 in each cell. I don't want to in case they all germinate. Maybe that's also the best use of space. I guess I'll just do that. Okay. 1 and 2. Okay, that one's done. Separate these out. There and there. That's 1 and 1 and 2. 1. Okay. Yeah, I think the 2 in each cell makes sense because some of these are really small. I don't know if they're gonna germinate. So yeah, then we're just gonna mix the rest up here. Fantastic. Maybe not fantastic, but it's what's happening now. So this soil is kind of moist, so I should watch. I don't know that I will. I want to say maybe Friday. No, Monday for sure. Well, last I checked, Monday it's supposed to rain. I do have the water can. Maybe I'll just do a little pass with that. Okay. So this one, I guess if I see it start to germinate, I'll have to just transplant it really gently, right? The wrong side? The heck? Okay. Let's see, and that's why I know it's not deep enough, because one of them is visible after that light watering. It's fine though, whatever. Same again. A couple this time. Maybe I should have wired it first and then put soil on. Oh well. It's not what we've done here. So that one like popped up. I saw it pop up. You were deep enough, friend. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna put the rest this water here while I guess put these away. On the soil. Okay, there we go. Put a little here actually. Not yet, not yet. Okay. That one needs to be right. All right, well, here's hoping these 2-3-year-old seeds do something. Can I leave this out? I'm gonna leave this out. I'm gonna leave this out right here actually, in front of this. We'll see if it works or not. The rest I'm gonna put in the container. Okay. I did. I'm like, I don't have anything to hold down the cardboard. I have cone flowers. I mean, pine cones. I have been collecting them for some dumb reason. Not dumb. They worked really well in the winter, actually. So, and I attribute my Montauk Daisy coming back, I guess, one, to me mulching, but I guess to be mulching with them. So I can't complain too much. I did try and make a little trench, but I think maybe my mother kind of flattened it out But also, I think it's also just tamping the soil down. So I kind of just want to dump it, but also no. So I found, it's not cardboard exactly, but some type of paper base. And I have some pine cones. I think I need the rest of them, so I'm probably have to go rush and get some more. So yeah. All right, so those are all of the pine cones I had. I thought I had so many more, but also this is big. There was some damage in transport, so I'll just rip that off at some point. And okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, okay, just gonna put it on the mulch. Anyway, how cute! I love it. I love her here. She was always meant to be. All right, Distylium, moved and planted. Yes. Watered and mulched. Yes. These seeds sown. Yes. I still got a bunch of water I gotta empty out somewhere. I did want to check on my wisteria, but I know she's looking really nice. Everything's looking really nice. So okay. Yeah. I had water. I still have water. But look at the wisteria. Oh my gosh, she's growing so fast. Hey, girly. Any of you guys need some water? This one over here a lot. Okay, these need, I'm not sure why these are yellowing, but the other ones are doing okay. Ugh, spiderweb. Okay, anyway, I gotta redo the troughs and the hills over there. The lilies could use water, the delphinium could use water, but I will not risk getting bit up on a day that's cool for plants I need to fight for their lives. The annuals, they're annuals. I can give them water whenever I want. And things that are in new positions that are awkward, the wisteria, I don't know how it's going to do over there, but the delphiniums, the lilies, nah. The lilies came back through the winter, okay? The delphinium are supposed to, and it's cool. It's high in the 60s, it's probably right now in the 40s, so